Hi guys, Rachael Cook, Doctor of Audiology at Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in today's video, I'm going to be answering all of your questions about Lyric hearing aids. Coming up. All right, now on the Dr. Cliff AUD YouTube channel, we get dozens, if not hundreds, of comments and questions every single day about the topics that we're speaking about in our videos. While we do our best to respond to all of these comments and questions, we don't always have the time, but that doesn't mean that we don't take notice. That's why in today's video, I'd like to take a moment to answer some of your questions about Lyric hearing aids. Now, I'll start off by telling you that there are really two types of traditional hearing aids. There are daily wear hearing aids and there are extended wear hearing aids. Daily wear hearing aids are definitely the most popular type of hearing aids that you've probably already seen and you're maybe even wearing. These devices include behind the ear hearing aids, receiver in canal hearing aids, custom type of hearing aids, pretty much any hearing aid that you put in the morning and you take out at night. These types of devices either use disposable batteries or rechargeable batteries, and they're meant to be taken out for sleeping, for swimming, and for showering. But for all other activities during the day, they really should be worn for a majority of waking hours. Then there is this second type of hearing aid called an extended wear hearing aid, and that's where Lyric comes in. And at the moment, Lyric is actually the only extended wear hearing aid on the market. Now, if you want to learn all there is to know about Lyric hearing aids, then you'll definitely want to check out Dr. Cliff's video on everything you need to know about these devices. But as a quick summary, I'll let you know that Lyric hearing aids are extended wear hearing aids that are placed approximately 4 millimeters from your eardrum. Unlike a daily wear hearing aid that you put in the morning and take out at night, Lyric hearing aids are intended to remain inside of your ear canal 24/7 for between a 6 and 8 week period until the device loses its charge. You sleep in these devices, you shower in these devices, you can even swim with these devices very carefully. For that reason, there is definitely a convenience factor that comes along with wearing Lyric hearing aids. In fact, I often like to make the analogy that they're almost like contact lenses, but for your ears. Your hearing healthcare provider puts them into your ears and you're good to go for the next 6 to 8 weeks until you're ready for an exchange. Now, not everybody's a perfect candidate for Lyric hearing aids. You definitely have to answer some pretty lengthy questionnaires to see if you're a good candidate for these devices or not. But believe me, the individuals that are and do choose to get fit with Lyric hearing aids, love them. But every time we talk about Lyric hearing aids here on the channel, we get a lot of questions about these devices, and understandably so, because they're definitely not the most popular. For that reason, I figured we'd take some time today and answer some of your questions about Lyric hearing aids. But before we jump into your fantastic questions, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up to bring videos like these to a wider audience. And of course, if you have not yet already, make sure you hit that subscribe button with notification bell so that you never miss any one of our newly released videos. We really appreciate it, and with that, let's jump straight in to your questions. All right, this first viewer asks, my wife is going to have a brain scan. I believe they mean to say brain scan. Does this affect the Lyric? This is an excellent question, and the answer is yes. There is a laundry list of contraindications for who would be an appropriate candidate for Lyric devices. And one of the questions on the initial intake questionnaire is, does the patient undergo frequent MRI testing? This question is asked because Lyrics cannot be worn during MRI testing, really for any type of imaging, honestly. MRI equipment uses extremely strong magnets that attract just about any type of metal ever, and we would not want those Lyric devices getting yanked out of your ear canals. So for that reason, it would require a trip over to your hearing healthcare provider to have the Lyrics removed. You would then go get the MRI imaging completed and return to your hearing healthcare provider to have the Lyrics replaced. This next viewer says, hi Cliff, great video. Thanks. Just kidding. Are the Lyric hearing aids waterproof or water resistant? Unfortunately, the Lyric hearing aids are not intended to be submerged underwater, so they're definitely not going to be a friendly hearing aid option if you are someone that does a lot of swimming or that does any type of scuba diving. Now, for most individuals, getting a little bit of water into their ears while they're showering isn't really enough to harm the device necessarily, but there's always certain instances of individuals who seem to have consistent moisture failures. And in those cases, we do recommend using some sort of silicone swim plug to kind of block the ear canal off so that the devices don't get super soaked while you're taking a shower. If you are someone that likes to swim frequently, dunking your head, swimming laps, going to the beach, anything like that, Lyric might not be a great option for you. This next viewer asks, "You mean I can't pull it out if I want to?" I don't know about that. And honestly, I don't blame you, but let me ease some of your fears. Now, I said earlier that Lyric hearing aids are placed by your hearing healthcare provider in office, and then they're also removed by your hearing healthcare provider in office. So that leads to questions like these going, well, what do I do if I need to take it out of my ears? Luckily, there's a way it can be done. So every set of Lyric hearing aids does come with what's called a Sound Link tool. This is a tiny little keychain that has a magnet on it that allows you to control some of the operations on the Lyric hearing aids, such as volume and on and off controls. But what's really cool is there's this extra little smart compartment in there that when opened up reveals a little treble hook. In the case that maybe the device fails or is weak, maybe there's some time between now and your next scheduled appointment and you just need to get the device out of your ear, that is what the treble hook is for. Now, some people might see that treble hook and go, I'm not sticking that in my ear. And first of all, for that, good job. We shouldn't be sticking anything in our ears unless your doctor tells you to. This next viewer asks, are the Lyric hearing aids covered by Medicare Advantage plans? And to my knowledge, no. Medicare Advantage plans typically work with third-party administrators such as True Hearing, UHC Hearing, or Amplifon to provide hearing aids at a discount for their members. These discount plans generally offer a very limited array of hearing aid styles and models, and I've never seen Lyric hearing aids included on any of these plans. Now, by no means am I saying that it's impossible, I'm just saying that I haven't seen it. This next viewer asks, can the device be used on perforated eardrums? Bad ear infection caused perforated eardrum, and now chronic ear infections causing tinnitus. Well, first off, I'm sorry about that. That sounds, quite frankly, miserable. And unfortunately, I can't give you good news in telling you that Lyric hearing aids would be appropriate in this case, because they wouldn't be. To be a Lyric hearing aid candidate, you must have clear ear canals with an intact tympanic membrane, otherwise known as your eardrum. You cannot have a ruptured eardrum, and in fact, another one of the contraindication questions that is issued to potential candidates is there a history of middle ear issues? The reason being is that some people just have chronic ear issues with their outer ear canal or their middle ear space, and we really don't want to be messing around with already vulnerable ears. All right, now this next viewer asks, thank you for answering so many questions, Dr. Cliff. I was wondering how you clear the earwax while wearing these. Perhaps this is a part of the regular visits. Now that is a fantastic question and one that comes up pretty often when I'm talking to patients about the potential of using Lyric hearing aids. Now, to lay a little bit of framework here, earwax, otherwise known as cerumen, is created in the outer third portion of our ear canal. This earwax that everybody has and creates in different quantities and in different consistencies is supposed to migrate out of the ear canal naturally through jaw movements like talking and chewing. Now, depending on your ethnicity, your age, and your gender, you might be predisposed to creating more earwax than other individuals. And so that leads to this question of, well, what do I do? Is the earwax going to break the devices or make it to where I'm not a great candidate? But they also bring up an excellent point of, is this a part of regular visits? So Lyric hearing aids are actually dispensed on a subscription basis, which means that you're not paying for each individual Lyric, you're actually paying for a subscription year, whether that be 1 year or 2 years. Now, this subscription model really does cover all of your visits and all of your devices. So if you go in to get your old Lyric devices out, if you go in to get your new Lyric devices put in, most of the time that's happening in the same appointment slot. But if you are the individual that does kind of overcreate this earwax, then you're in luck because you're seeing your provider every 6 to 8 weeks. And as a Lyric provider, I'm not putting a Lyric device into an ear canal that is not squeaky clean. Now, given the positioning of where the lyric sits, which is deep down in your outer ear canal, up close to your eardrum, the earwax that's created in between these exchanges is actually going to be on the outside of the device, not behind the device. This means that oftentimes, just by me pulling the device out in clinic, it actually pulls most of the cerumen or the earwax with it. I'll tell you right now, I have got some pretty waxy patients, and I haven't had to kick anybody off of lyric because of their earwax just yet. This next user asks, will I still be able to wear earplugs with the lyric to protect my ears at concerts? And that is a great question. And the answer to that question is maybe. Now, everybody's lyric devices are placed at different depths depending on the size and the shape of your ear canal and the size of the lyric device that's appropriate for you. Depending on how deep the device is inserted, it's definitely possible that you would be able to get some foam hearing protection into your ears without disrupting the placement of the lyric itself. You would definitely have to try this out with your own devices and make sure that you are able to get a tight, snug fit of any sort of foam in the ear hearing protection. However, if you're planning on using over-the-ear hearing protection, you can use that all day long with your lyrics. But I definitely appreciate you keeping an eye out and an ear out for protecting your hearing at concerts. I think we've got time for one more question, so let's dive in. This viewer asks, do people report more tinnitus relief compared to other hearing aids? This is a fantastic question and one that comes up when talking about lyric all of the time. Now, tinnitus is when you hear this ringing, buzzing, or humming sensation that isn't actually present in your environment. And for 90% of tinnitus sufferers, they actually have some form of hearing loss. This hearing loss does not allow the brain full access to the stimulation that it's used to, and for that reason, the brain starts to fill in some missing gaps in creating its own sort of phantom sounds. 60% of individuals who have a diagnosed hearing loss and tinnitus and who move forward with treating their hearing loss with appropriately programmed hearing aids see a noticeable reduction and relief in their tinnitus perception just from wearing hearing aids alone. This is the case for daily wear hearing aids, and this is the case especially for extended wear hearing aids. Now, the reason I say especially for extended wear hearing aids is because one of the most bothersome situations for individuals with tinnitus is when it's quiet. And when is it most often quiet? But at night. While many individuals that wear daily wear hearing aids see a reduction in their tinnitus during the day when they're using their hearing aids, they see obviously much less of a reduction when they have to take their hearing aids out at the end of the day to let them charge or just to go to sleep. On the other hand, individuals that wear extended wear hearing aids like Lyric are able to have that extra stimulation and amplification 24 hours a day, even at night and even while they're sleeping, which can definitely help to reduce some of that tinnitus perception. Now, with daily wear hearing aids or extended wear hearing aids, the tinnitus reduction between them could be the exact same. The biggest difference is really just going to be how long are you able to wear these devices. And as I said, with daily wear hearing aids, you're taking them out at night, whereas extended wear hearing aids, you're keeping them in all of the time. So I don't think that these devices are more effective at reducing tinnitus overall. You're just able to take advantage of that extra amplification that the Lyrics provide for a longer duration of time. Overall, Lyric hearing aids are a fantastic option for many individuals. If there are any sort of dexterity, vision, or memory concerns, there's definitely an advantage to having an extended wear hearing aid that's put in and you don't touch it or do nothing to it for a 6 to 8 week period. It's also a very effective option for those that are worried about the vanity aspect of wearing hearing aids and want a completely invisible option. And of course, it's great for those that do suffer from tinnitus. And if you're interested in finding out if you're a good candidate for Lyric hearing aids, I'll drop a link in the description below where you can try and find a Lyric provider near you. All right, guys, that is all we have time for today. As always, keep these incredible questions coming. I know that there are lots of them. I know that we talk about a lot of things on this channel. And when you have questions, drop them in the comment section below. Even if we don't get back to you right away, I can guarantee you we're watching and we're filing these questions away for later so that we can answer them in formats like this. Now, if you liked this style of video, definitely let us know by giving this video a thumbs up and making sure that you hit that subscribe button with notification bell so that you never miss any one of our new videos. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.